Well, I've really gone and done it now. I placed an order with an online comic book store that I said I would never, ever order from again under any circumstances. Why did I do this? Okay, so I make all of these rules and impose all of these restrictions on myself, and then I go and break them. Most of the time, I will say, "Oh, I'm never going to do this again," or I won't do this. I won't buy this. I've said I won't buy DC Comics anymore, and usually that lasts a month or two. This restriction that was completely self-imposed lasted for a year. So on one hand, I'd like to give myself some credit, but on the other hand, I know that I really can't trust myself to keep up with all of these rules and promises that I make. And one of them was I said I would never ever order from Midtown Comics again. That even as good of a deal that it seemed, I just don't do it because of the poor condition and poor. I don't even know if it was shipping or what, but I was spending so much money at Midtown when I first got back into the hobby, and it was getting to be about every other order that was damaged. And I kept contacting them, and they were doing that. We'll give you 10% back, and I was sending them photographs. They said you have to photograph every single book in the order, and so on. And after about a year off, I realized that since I started this channel, I don't have an unboxing video of Midtown, or an order from Midtown, I should say. And I wanted to have a couple of orders to mess with. And I had recently added them to my spreadsheets for targeting stores because I wanted to just see, do they have recent back issues in stock at around cover price, or even when they take a roughly new book and jack up the price to 10 or 20 bucks or whatever it is that still a deal? And I started to question this. And I also was going back through my ledger and looking at the number of books that I was getting slabbed and turned into a 9.8. And I'll be honest, as rough as some of these orders were that I received, where a stack of like 20 books looked like it was just jammed and mashed right on the corner, I was actually getting a lot of my 9.8s from Midtown. Now, I had switched to Things from Another World for my pre-ordering, and that's been super successful, and I've gotten a lot of high-quality books from TFAW. But there is a lack of back issues with TFAW. TFAW is great for new books. But for back issues, there are times where Midtown is kind of a hybrid between TFAW and Mile High, in my opinion, where you can find some recent back issues, modern back issues, modern keys and recent books that flippers and pumpers have helped inflate the value on these books. And Midtown used to be a great resource for me until I completely wrote them off. So I placed, I think, 3 orders with them in late 2021, early 2022. And I want to go ahead and do an unboxing of one of those orders to see if, one, did their shipping process or handling of books or how they pack books, is it the same? Did it improve? And two, I want to document it because I was doing a lot of whining and crying on social media, but I didn't have a lot of documentation. And through this channel, it's enabled me to kind of document some of the orders that I've picked up in the unboxing. And I wish I'd started this a couple of years ago to see some of the books that I have on my wall, being unboxed and so forth, because it would be nice to go back and look at those. So I want to unbox the first order I received from Midtown Comics, see if we can maybe have a fresh start. And you can take a look and see why I specifically bought these books. So this will be the first order that we'll go through from Midtown here. Like I said, we'll unbox it, go through the comics that I received, and then hang out afterwards for the store order analysis. And if any of the books pop during the unboxing that I want to grade or take a look at, we'll do that in more detail. So let's get to the unboxing. Okay, so here we go. So just a couple of things. This order I placed like I do with pretty much anywhere that I can online when I'm buying comics. I wanted to get free shipping. So I crossed that threshold with Midtown. And I remember that when they did offer free shipping, it was coming in via USPS. Now, when I was having my problems with Midtown, they claimed to me that the reason I was receiving damaged books on a regular basis was because they were shipping USPS and that I should pay for UPS. Now, I did that as an experiment. I actually, even though I had crossed the minimal amount for the order to get free shipping, I unchecked the free shipping and I paid for UPS and I still got damaged books. And that was kind of the last straw because now I was paying extra to get books in awful condition. So this, I'm covering up the label to protect the innocent, but this was shipped UPS, and this is the typical Midtown box that you're going to get. It's a pretty nice, sturdy cardboard box. You can tell when it's damaged because you'll see something like this. And again, I don't know if it's the cardboard they're using or what. I don't believe this damaged comic books, but it's very typical to receive a box from Midtown that's all beat up. So let me go ahead and unbox it. Again, this is not working out, but I'm going to continue to try and use it. Now, I will say that, hands down, the best bubble wrap is this bubble wrap. I love this bubble wrap. I save it and I use it to ship slabs in. The only problem is what's under this is the paper bag that the books come in. So the paper bag is super loose in here, as you can see, right? So the paper bag, what happens is they pack the books in here like so and make this nice little holder, but then the books inside the paper bag, they'll kind of slide around inside and everything and hit the corners inside the bubble wrap. So as much as I love the bubble wrap, it's a pretty expensive process just to get good bubble wrap to ship slabs out. You could probably just get it at a shipping store for a lot less. But anyway, so it comes in this paper bag. So nothing's really changed. It looks to be pretty much the same process. Let's tear this open. Yep, everything's the same. So we got the paper bag, we've got the bubble wrap, we've got the resealable bags that I always replace. And let's look and see at first glance here if we've got a bunch of damaged books. Try and turn these this way. Well, it's hard to tell from this, and I don't want to slide the books around too much, but I don't see any sort of impact damage at first glance. So let's just turn these over and get into the books instead, shall we? All right, so the first one, Amazing Spider-Man, Volume 4, number 798. I'm a big Terry Dodson fan, and this book has just been, again, it's a good example of kind of like the hybrid that I talked about. So this is a back issue, except it's not that old, but still kind of considered a back issue for sure. So this was an order where I ordered books where the price on Midtown was under the cover price fair market value. So that's what this order is. I placed a couple of other orders when they had books on sale. So this book in particular, we'll see when we go through the order analysis. I won't describe it for each book, but the price on Midtown was under FMV, and that's why I jumped on these to add them. All right, so Spider-Man, again, Amazing Spider-Man, #1, Volume 5. This book, it's upside down, but this is a book that has recently increased in value, and it was basically listed for cover price on Midtown, so I jumped on that. So I'll just continue to go through these, and we'll stop at any significant books here. Amazing Spider-Man, Great Alex Ross, Iron Spider with Mary Jane. This is Amazing Spider-Man Volume 4, number 15. Ultimate Fallout 4. I will continue to add anything Ultimate Fallout 4 where I can, very slowly. I'll take my time. And when the Miles hype causes the market to rise on this book, this is the facsimile edition, but whether it's the first or second print or anything else related to Ultimate Fallout 4, I'm all in. So I keep picking these up just to go ahead and add. And here we have Black Widow, Volume 8, number 8. So this is the current run. Love the Adam Hughes covers on this. This has been a great story so far, a great run, and just continue to find these Black Widow, again, back issues at Midtown. Star Wars #1. Again, these were all cover price. Or I guess in terms of Midtown, it's like cover price minus 10% off. And then with free shipping, it ends up kind of working out to be a good deal. Great R.B. Silva cover on Star Wars #1. Captain America #1. This is the Alex Ross, just the nice cover A. So this one I took a chance on and ended up getting 2. And this is Spider-Man #1. I'm not sure why they have these books there at the price that they did. I bought one copy of this a year and a half ago, I think, and noticed that it was a 9.8, slabbed it, sold the slab. So I'm like, let me replace that one that I sold with 2 copies. Here's Fantastic Four #1, the Art Germ variant. This is volume 6 of Fantastic Four. This is the most desirable of the 4 Art Germ covers, where he depicted each of the members of the Fantastic Four. The Invisible Woman cover was worth a few dollars more than what they had it listed for on Mile High. Family Tree #1. This was interesting timing too. I had 2 slabbed copies of this. I have one in a 9.8, one in a 9.6. I put the 9.6 up for auction, and somebody put a very low bid. I ended up selling the 9.6, I think, for about $20. And then a couple of days after that, there was some news about some option properties written by creator Jeff Lemire. And I was kind of kicking myself because once the alert goes out that there was some news about Family Tree being optioned, then of course the books picked up in value, and I had basically just given that 9.6 slab away. So I grabbed another copy of this at cover price because it's available at Midtown. So maybe this one will be my second 9.8. We'll see. Marauders #1. This one, again, Kitty Pryde, Storm. It's kind of a sneaky first issue of an X-Men related title, and it does have some value, and Midtown has this all day for cover price, so I wanted to grab a first issue there. Then the last couple are Miles Morales. I love this Miles cover. This is Miles Morales Spider-Man #9. So I've got a couple of these, but just really love this one as he's kind of falling down between the 2 office buildings and caught kind of suspended in midair like that. And I don't know why they're upside down here. Maybe to help with the shipping, I have no idea. This is Miles Morales #20, and this is the Torrin Clark cover B. So if we put it right side up, love this cover too. So those are the books. So let's see how I did and why I ordered these specific books from Midtown by taking a look at the order analysis. Okay, so here is the order, and when I placed it early 2022, I was thinking to myself, let me just try out the process again. Let me see what condition the books are in, and let me try and find some books that are, below or around fair market value that I wanted to add to my collection or add additional copies. So full disclosure on this order, placed January 4th, 2022 for $110.77. You can see I paid nothing for shipping, $9.60 tax. And then let me slide this over. There, that's better. More room. So then we can start to compare some things here. So the cover price fair market value is listed here in column U, and my total cost here at the bottom, $110.77. That's the that $9.60 tax spread out across these 14 books, and then the raw profit. Now, this is again based off cover price, so it's all relative. It'll all even itself out. I don't know if Captain America Volume 9, number 1 is truly a $25 book, but I think it's probably a $10 book at this point. Maybe it's more. I'm not exactly sure. I'm just relying on the data at this point. This is one reason I bought it, though. I got triggered through cover price to take a look at this book because I was getting it at cover price. But then you could see here Black Widow was under, or fair market value was under what I paid, and I overpaid for Miles number 20. Also, the facsimile of Ultimate 4 has dropped back down to cover, and so I overpaid by $1.19 on that one. Overall, the raw profit of $47.88. So again, that means that as compared to fair market value, I added $47.88 of value to my collection if I just keep these books raw. Again, this is basically those books being a 9.4. When the books aren't damaged, I believe that Midtown averages somewhere around a 9.4 and 9.6, and I'll show you those numbers here in a second. I haven't graded any of these, so the CGC profit really isn't worth discussing. But if I were to change my grade to 9.4 just for fun, we could see that it's still not a profitable or valuable order. Again, there's nothing really jumps out at you here from this order other than I think Spider-Man number 1 still available on Midtown, and I think that that's a good pickup. Has a CGC value of a 9.4. In a 9.8 though, those are currently $173. I want to say I sold mine for $119 or somewhere around $120, $125, something like that. So, if those grade out to 9.8, great. If not, even a 9.4, they still have some value. There's some reported value at a 9.4. All right, so let me clear these out because I don't want these to skew the numbers too much. And I want to show you kind of where I am with Midtown. So this is what I track across all stores here. And here's Midtown Comics. 17th overall, but in terms of a sample size, it's tremendous. Now, again, I had to take the average across all of their orders of all the books. So I had ordered 1,352 comics from Midtown. I graded 960 of them for an average grade of 9.4336. I gave 354 books a 9.8, and that averages out to just under 37%. So what it means is of all the books that I'm ordering from Midtown in NM, that 37% of those books are a 9.8. So in theory, I should get about 5 or 6 9.8s out of this order. And this is where things started to stand out. So as I get books back from CGC, I will go in and tag them as graded and whether or not they got a 9.8. 17 of those books that I sent in were from Midtown. And that's, I think, Mile High was 9, so it's almost double any other source. So even though I was getting damaged orders, I looked back and was like, well, I'm still getting some 9/8 out of here. So it might be worth checking out again just to see if things are different. So let's go back to the ledger. And I do want to grade a couple of the books, and we'll take a look at those Spider-Men and see how they turned out. Sometimes the damage to an order is a little sneaky, and so I just want to make sure that I'm not missing anything here. And let's see. So this book is important. It's got Miles and Peter Parker here. And when you're able to get books from Midtown without them being damaged in transit, this is what they look like. This is what I remember. Really great spine. There's no spine ticks here. Cover looks really nice as I move the light back and forth. There's no dents. The bottom corner is a little softer than I would like, but it's okay. I say it's acceptable. Those corners, it is. Sorry, the focus is getting messed up there. There we go. So there's that corner, a little on the soft side, but it's okay. And the back looks beautiful. I don't see any problems there. Standard amount of Marvel Comics wrinkling on the cheap paper. One spine issue right in there. Let's see if I can catch it in the light. But I'm being really picky. Here's one right here by the spine. Very, very subtle, right there. So this is a 9/8. So that's fantastic. So this is a book that I would turn right around and send out to CGC. It doesn't need to be pressed. It's good to go as a 9/8. And that's really kind of the process. That's how I do it. So that was my first return to Midtown Comics. All in all, I would say it's a decent order. If both of those Spider-Mens grade out as 9.8s, and they're going for $170 in a CGC 9.8, that pays for the order and then some on both of them. I could basically slab both, keep one as a 9/8, sell the other, and it's paid for the cost to grade both of those books and that entire order. Not a whole lot of spec in this order. I guess Family Tree #1, maybe Black Widow a little bit. Miles books are always great to grab. So I'm not endorsing Midtown or recommending them, and I can't believe I actually ordered from them again. I've got stuff on my arms. It's a weird day for me. It's a little bit of a time warp to go back in time and look at that. So I have 3 more orders that I'm ready to receive from Midtown, and those were books that were on sale. So I'm really curious and anxious to get those in. But if this is any indication, then this was not a damaged order. I might be ordering from Midtown more often again. So we will see for sure. So there's your unboxing from Midtown Comics of early 2022. Thanks for watching. Happy collecting, and see you next time.